But we also have somebody else right now to talk to us. And she's, again, such a powerful personality that I'm not really quite sure how to introduce her. So I called her and I said, what could I say? So she said, you know what? The best way to describe me is that I'm a culture cutlet. Not an enthu cutlet. That's normal and boring. I'm a culture cutlet. I'm a dreamer. And we also know a little bit more about her from the bio, which says she's the head of diversity and inclusion at Pernod Ricard in India. But she has to tell her story herself because she tells it best. So I'd like to introduce and invite Zainab Patel with a huge round of applause to please join us. So nice to meet you.
A little bit of liberty and use my phone because I had some points written down, and I believe that the best way to probably speak to all of you all is using some of those. But I have a presentation coming up on the screen. Okay, so a lot of time in our lives, we see when we step out of the comfort of our homes, when we step out of the comforts of our air-conditioned cars, on the signal, on the street, in a dark, shady corner, you have a group of people, a group that is always looked down upon, made fun of, expected to be invisible most of the time, and I belong to that community. And for most of you who did not understand who I tried to imply to, I am a transgender woman. Someone who is expected to come and dance when you get married. Someone who is expected to come and sing if you have a childbirth. Male, better, female, okay. And if the baby is born with some other condition, the best thing that these people kind of do is expected to take the baby away and go. But have you all ever sat back?
Sorry, can I interrupt for a second? Just hold the mic.
Okay, so people expect us, after we do these things, after we come and dance, after we come and clap, after we come and bless you all, we are expected to fade into oblivion. But I'm going to take you to the next 10 minutes or so as to why I have chose to come and speak to you how to navigate when you feel stuck. Because all of our lives has been all of you all telling us, remain stuck, remain invisible, and do not move forward. So the next slide, please. So there's this lovely Inktober diagram which I came across, and someone put it and they said that, when you feel stuck, move on. And why do we feel stuck? There are various reasons: family, relations, life events, etc., so on and so forth. And you can very well place yourself in the midst of this concentric circle, which is unending, everless. Because it keeps on going round and round, and you sometimes feel yourself, why is ever going to come out of it? And then I'm reminded of a very beautiful line which says, Zindagi gul hai, nama hai, mehtab hai, zindagi ko fakat imtihan mat samajh. And the next slide, please. So, what happened when you get stuck? What is that feeling that tells you when it's dark all around, when you're feeling extremely miserable, when you feel those 1 million eyes boring into you, when you feel that every cell on your body is being monitored? What I did is I always heard the first voice that came. And who was this first voice in my life? Next slide. The lady on the screen is a very, very famous trans activist in India called Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi. All of us in our lives, we've heard this phrase, Guru Vandana. Everyone hears it, especially that Last month was Guru Purnima. We go and worship our Guru and we talk about like Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. But there's a lovely other stanza in that one paragraph. And it says that Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru Vedama. And what does that line mean? That line very simply translates to, I bow down in obeisances to my Guru. And who is a Guru? For me, all of the wonderful people in this room are Guru. And you know why? What a Guru does? My Guru in my life, and that paragraph explains it, opened my eyes. And why were my eyes shut? Why were my eyes closed? Because they were darkened by the darkness of ignorance. And how did she do it? With the collyrium of knowledge. So I think all of you all women over here, all of the fantastic allies that you all are here, sharing, disseminating, networking, putting your lives up in the front, coming and telling your stories, all of you all are gurus. Not only because we come and talk, but because we choose and make ourselves fulcrum for this knowledge. So a huge round of applause to all, because there is a guru in each one of us. Next slide. So, you know, when Sonali called me yesterday and she told me that, what is it that you want to be known? What is it that I can call you? And I said, you know, call me a culture cutlet. My name is Zainab Patel. I was born to a set of extremely orthodox Roman Catholic parents from Mangalore. Half of my family is Portuguese. I have a Portuguese ancestry, and half of my family is Anglo-Indians because they married into each other. And then they had me, who has a Sufi name, who loves Krishna, and was born in a Catholic family. I think you can't get better. Sabka saath, sabka vishwas, sabka saath. You can't get better than this. So in my life, and I was thinking of, you know, I was very emotional when I came in. And it talked about, I lost my mother 9 years ago. I mean, she physically left this world. But in my life, I have met multiple people who've given me the joy of experiencing what motherhood can be, even without a vagina, even without a uterus. And that feeling came only because I decided to hear the voice within me. There was a point in time, 20 years ago to be precise, I was begging on the streets of Mumbai because my family decided not to accept me. And you know, when you go out and beg, you don't get a 100-rupee note thrown at you. If you've been in Mumbai and begged on the streets, you'll realize that people give you 25 paise. A lot of the generation in this room perhaps may not know what a 25 paise coin is. But for those who were there in that generation would know that you could only get one peppermint sweet for 25 paise. And when someone put that money into my hand, I realized that I have just been reduced to that 25 paise coin. It was a Zen moment for me. Then I graduated in life, not in school or college. And what did I do? I sold my body. A lot of time people believe, oh, selling sex is easy. These people want a life of luxury. They don't want to do hard work. Go and stand out on the street in the night. You're standing continuously for 4 to 5 hours because you don't have the luxury of having a chair to sit down. Men, your children's age, your father's age, your husband's age will come and ravage through your body. They will bite you, abuse you mentally, physically, emotionally, and leave you with scars that will take a lifetime to erase. And if still people tell me this was easy to do, heck, it is easy to do. So I distill some of my life lessons. Next slide, please. Why did I take the name Zainab? In this world with immense possibilities, why did I only choose Zainab? Then you all should, and I think it's such an opportune moment, Next week is Muharram, when we Muslims around the world um, commemorate the martyrdom of the grandchild of the Prophet Hassan and Hussein. They were martyred, and they and along with the many members of their family. And there was a woman, his sister Zainab, who was disrobed in public, who was made to walk across the hot desert, stand with chains in her feet and her hand. And she stood up in the tyrant's court and gave the most amazing sermon. And if you all do get a chance, go and Google this video. And it says that the Khutbah of Hazrat Zainab. And there are translations available in English, Urdu, Arabic, etc., so on and so forth. And believe me, she is a true essence of what a woman should be, not what a woman can be. And that's why I took her name, Zainab. Next slide. If you're wondering what is this picture, in 2014, when we were still celebrating everything that we do, we were in the court trying to find out, do I even have basic right to be counted? Do I have a right to sit across the table with you? Do I have the right to non-discrimination? That was a fundamental day for us to win. Next slide, please. This is my transgender mother who actually told me, believe in yourself, the world can go fuck themselves. Because when you are hungry, no one is going to take care of you. Next slide. So this is just kind of thanking people, but if I come to, I have just 5 lessons and I have 2 minutes, so I'll be very brief. Next slide. I want to tell you something. Whenever you are stuck, our first natural instinct is to push with all of our might. Don't we do that? If the car door is stuck, we push it with all of our might. We try to push a window, we try to pull a trolley bag, we try to push people out of our lives. I think the first thing that you need to do is actually to sit back, take a step back, review where your life is, where your situation is. I did it in my life because I did not have the luxury to fight back with people. I remember this one time that a drunk customer came in and broke a bottle on my head, and I have a scar running from left to right on my forehead. And that put me in a hospital bed, out of business, out of food. And all I could do was sit back and think about what I needed to do. And that actually prompted me to go ahead and start doing my MBA again. Someone said, why would a hijra need an MBA? तुम तो ताली बजाते हो, तुम्हें MBA से क्या लेना है? And I said, पता नहीं, शायद future में कुछ काम आ जाए. It's always good for you to sit back and introspect, because when you take that one step behind, you get a better view of what lies ahead of you. Sometimes taking that step behind is all that needs for you to propel forward. The next. Get specific. I think sometimes we end up in all of our things trying not to be specific. Oh yes, I want to do this and I want to do that. I want to work on a project. I have an interesting business idea. I want to save money. I want to get healthy. I want to dance like this. I want to be an influencer. Let's get down to the basics. All of us are not privileged enough to be able to enjoy this privilege of being able to sit down and write what are the specifics. But if you are not able to do that, speak to someone. Here is an extremely wonderful group of mentors, sponsors, advisors, call it what you may. Find your spot, get down to writing what is the specific that you wanted to achieve. In my life, at one point of time, the only specific thing was to earn 200 rupees a day so that I could pay 100 rupees to the gharwali and 100 rupees for my food. And if I had to get stuck with only that specific, I would have never been able to move beyond where I was to reach where I am today. Next slide. Reconnect to your why. Sometimes we get bogged down doing so many things. My child is sick, they're battling COVID, I have a bank account that's depleting by the day, a partner that's cheating on me, my children don't understand me, my in-laws are a pain in the ass, mine is. And and I decided to call her monster-in-law. So it's still MIL on the phone, but so sometimes all of these things weigh in for you. You also take a lot of collective stress in your life. It's good for you to sit and reconnect why you are here in this particular situation, why did you decide to do this, and more importantly, why is it going to be important for you to go ahead and move on this thing. The next slide. And I'm going to stop at this. I think the most important lesson that women need to do, I am no one to come and tell you what you can do, because all of you all are fabulous, fantastic, powerful, electrifying people in this room. But what we don't know sometimes to do is our ability to let go. Letting go of a painful relationship, letting go of a festering wound, letting go of an emotion that is tying you down, it's tying your potential down, not believing in what you, if you had to look at me 20 years ago, you would have laughed at me and they said that she cannot become the chief inclusion officer at KPMG, she cannot become a career diplomat with the UN. I served in the UN for 11 years, I worked with governments in India. I had a blue passport. When the world was still struggling with decriminalization of homosexuality, I took my husband and we got married in South Africa. After a point of time when we realized that the marriage was not working, I decided I had to let go of a marriage. No use to sit and think of marriage to a person. Instead, I decided to become like Queen Elizabeth and I married myself to the society. I am going to focus on my community. I am going to create 1 million more Zainabs, and I need all of your support. So whenever you are stuck in life, pause, reconnect with your ask, focus on why you are here, and let go of the pain that you are and take action. Thank you so much. And I'm going to actually end with a small shairi from Faiz. I don't know how many of you all read Faiz, but you all should read Faiz. Women should read Faiz. And he says that, Dil na umeed to nahi, naakaam hi to hai. Look at the word play. Yeah? Naakaam is a temporary setback, and na umeed means giving up. Dil na umeed to nahi, naakaam hi to hai. Lambi hai gam ki shaam, par shaam hi to hai. Thank you.